Hello Gemini, motors are running. Sorry about the background noises, it's too warm to close my window, so we're just going to have to put up with noisy neighbours out on the street, okay? The things that I need to quickly run through, the reading's timeless when it finds you, it's your reading at that time. I'm reading it on, I'm doing this reading on, I think it's the 1st, right? Yeah, Tuesday the 1st, ready, but with the intention that it's going to go up on Wednesday the 2nd. When it finds you though, it may fit that at that time, right? The gender is very fluid in the tarot, so I may be talking about he, she, or they, and there may be a man or a woman on the card. Just know that you can switch all the roles around as you need to. If you think I'm talking about one person and you're thinking, oh, that is me actually, then you can swap the characters around as you need to do that. It's a general reading. You see, it's not a personal reading, so there's going to be messages for everybody. It's up to you to know what fits and what doesn't. So take anything that fits and leave anything that isn't for you for somebody else. It's just someone else's message. This set of readings, if you're thinking about taking action, or you're particularly looking for like a love reading, you may find it helpful to not just look at your sun, moon and rising signs, but also your Mars, Venus and Mercury signs. Mars is about taking action, the way that you approach new tasks. Venus is about love. So you may want to look up those placements in the description box down below. There's a link to a website that can help you do that. Not affiliated, it's just the website that I use. Mercury is about how you communicate with people. So you may want to look up your Mercury placement, Gemini, because you are ruled by Mercury, and the messages that are coming through intuitively here for you are already about communication, particularly with family. I feel like for some of you there may have been some kind of fallout with somebody, and it may be over money and it may involve family. They're kind of like the headlines that I'm getting. So even if that doesn't resonate, just hold on a second while I get through the intuitive messages, because you may find when I start to pull cards that's when things start to fit you a bit more. Intuitively though, I got so many Knights by the Cat Empire. This kind of talks about not feeling good enough perhaps for somebody, feeling like somebody's a little bit out of your league. So this could be you or somebody feeling this way about you. It's like he's saying, I need to go and get a haircut, I need to go and get a waistcoat on. So it's like this person feels like they have to kind of buy new clothes to impress you, kind of thing. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe this is you feeling this way about somebody else. Then I can't read my own handwriting because I do it in the middle of the night. Like I wake up with the song in my head and write it down and I go back to sleep. So Eternity by Robbie Williams was the next song. You were there for summer dreaming and I gave you what you need, and I hope you find your freedom for eternity. There's something about freedom, this comes back up again. There's also this sense of kind of like longing for somebody, missing somebody, will we ever be together kind of energy, things perhaps getting in the way. Then we go into, hang on, what have I wrote down here? Past is done, we've been betrayed. So there could be you and perhaps a love interest, a bit of a Romeo and Juliet thing going on here perhaps. You and somebody that you are, that you want to be with. For some of you, it doesn't have to be everybody's story. Perhaps there's family, bad blood, right, with the family that's getting in between you both. The next song that came through was Bad Blood. It's, I think, a Taylor Swift song originally, but the version that played was by Kina, Grannis and Clara C. Now, I think there's something to this because the two female artists sing different parts of the song. So are they both singing about the same person, or are they singing about each other? I kind of got the answer because as I was thinking this, I looked at the time and it was 12:21. So I had a mirror number there, 1221, which tells me this is two people mirroring. So I feel like there could have been a fallout, but both people are kind of feeling the same way on either side of this fallout. So there could be something there that will allow you to kind of make amends with somebody perhaps in the situation, if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to, it's your life. But there could be an opportunity for understanding each other's perspective a little bit there. Sometimes when we fall out with people, we don't have the full story. And when we get a bit more information, we realise actually that perhaps somebody wasn't as bad as we thought they were, or perhaps there was a misunderstanding. So just be open to receiving more information about, if you have fallen out with somebody. It could be that there's a missing piece of the jigsaw there that you're not quite seeing. But they say somebody said the truth will out. So the past is done, we've been betrayed, somebody said the truth will out. So it could be kind of like a hidden romance. Again, it's kind of Romeo and Juliet thing, where perhaps you confided in somebody, the nurse perhaps, and the nurse has gone and told the family, you know. So it could be something along those lines where, I don't know. But the other lines that kind of popped out to me were band-aids don't fix bullet holes. So plasters, in the UK we call them plasters. Plasters don't fix bullet holes. So I think Aries, I had a Tell Me Anything reading where I talk about this dream that I had, and there was 2 women involved. I was technically the 3rd woman, and sort of violence warning, because it was a dream, it wasn't real, but in self-defense I had to shoot this girl in the chest. It was very, very visceral, quite an upsetting dream. And then it came back out again in the Aries reading. They had some of the images on some of the cards gave me Shot Through the Heart and You're to Blame, You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi. So it's like it's not literal violence, I hope, but it's more about perhaps how words can hurt, words can injure. You know, you say something and then suddenly you've got bad blood with people. Bad blood as well, just to say, do check out, you know, if you're feeling very tired, perhaps you could check your iron levels. You know, if you've got any niggling health concerns, do go and get blood tests. It could be important for you right now. And also, like, bad blood, it can talk about family, right? So there could be something, as I say, going on with your family. So band-aids don't fix bullet holes. You'll say sorry, but just for show. So I've definitely dealt with people like this where they're not really sorry at all, but they'll say sorry because it's the done thing. They'll say sorry because other people expect them to say sorry, right? But they're not really sorry, and they just go ahead and do it again. So you may be dealing with somebody like that. You know, they're not really sorry for what they've done at all. They're just doing it to, you know, save face, or to, you know, prevent a fight in the moment. So you could be dealing with somebody like that perhaps. So yeah, I've got the note, family problems over money. The song that played for you right when I was setting up the cards and ready to do your reading was Misery by Millington, which again has this theme about freedom. You know, Robbie Williams is saying, I hope you find your freedom for eternity, and then Millington's saying, I brought the TNT to set you free. So there could be this kind of like trying to break somebody out of a situation. Again, like Juliet, if we're talking Romeo and Juliet as kind of like the overarching theme of this reading, you know, Juliet escapes that very strict household, doesn't she? So there could be something like that going on for you there. And again, that Misery song by Millington, he talks about not being able to sleep because he's thinking of somebody so much, which again, I think Robbie Williams talks about in that song. And so many nights as well, so many nights still thinking about you. So you could still be kind of like going over something in your head about possibly a bad breakup with somebody, or just a fallout with somebody from the past, and you can't stop thinking about it. And then that Millington song kind of says he kind of sees them in the supermarket and pretends not to know them, that sort of thing. So there could be something like that going on for you there somehow. So I guess we're just going to jump into your reading, right? Is there anything else I need to say before I do? No, I don't think so. Right, let's get the theme then. I've had a bit of a switch of decks. You're using, for your oracle message at the start of the reading, you've got the Divine Animals Oracle. So let's see what this has to say for you. So what do we have for Geminis, please, for Wednesday? On the underline, you've got hair, cycles. Yeah, perhaps stuck in some sort of cycle. You know, sometimes you can talk about, now this doesn't have to be a love relationship. It can talk about friendships, family, you know, where you forgive and you forget, but then the person goes along and does the same thing again. There could be something going along like that for you. The imagery on this card does sort of say that this woman symbolizes almost like Empress energy, where these rabbits feel very safe around this person. So you could be almost like a safe space for people, perhaps for family. You know, rabbits, perhaps you have a very large family. Rabbits do have a large family, right? They, you know, they're known to be particularly fertile. So there could be something going on with fertility for you. Perhaps menstrual cycles as well. You know, perhaps somebody's very volatile around certain times of the month. You know, we all... you know, half the population has to deal with this, so you could be somebody that is particularly prone to being quite hormonal and mood swingy because of the cycle. But there is a, with the length of her hair, there's something about something being a long time. So again, this could be like connections. It could be family, friends, a big family, a big friendship group, people that you've known for a very long time, that you've, spent a long time with. I'm getting 7 years. I don't know why 7, but I think it's something to do with, I once heard that to have very long hair, it's going to take you 7 years to grow it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that kind of like pops into my head. How many rabbits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 rabbits though. 3 and 1 breaks down to a 4, so this could definitely be, 3 and 1 here at the top of the card. This could be about foundation, stability, certainly family. You could have worked in a certain place for 7 years. Yeah, but this lady on this card, she always talks to me about being the person that people feel safe around. So you could be like that person in the family that, everybody goes to say, oh my goodness, like such and such a person, or the friendship group, right? This person said this to me, or it's like, when people in the family get a bit rowdy, maybe over Christmas dinner or whatever, this is the person that the kids run to. So could be something about that for you. What else do we have, please? Freedom. Oh my goodness, see? You've got it through in 2 songs and now this card here as well. I hope you find your freedom for eternity. I'm noticing all the white animals. White symbolises peace. Peace, compassion, spirit. Is this a horse? Yeah, it is a horse. I don't know why it was giving me kind of like a unicorn feel. I'm hearing break for freedom, and I'm seeing this glass shattering. Now, what I was originally getting from the glass shattering, I kind of got both messages at once. So somebody may be making some kind of break for freedom. I don't know, going off to university perhaps, getting a bit more independent in a workplace. I saw it as well as shattering the glass ceiling. You can see like these little bits of shards coming out here. But then as I was explaining this to you and I was getting break for freedom and the glass shattering, it also gave me cars, maybe somebody's getting more independent because they're learning to drive. Maybe there's something to do with, just be really careful around roads and cars, because the brake and the glass shattering tells me somebody may have to, it's like, it could be a metaphor, right? It's like suddenly having to brake, suddenly having to, like, there's a surprise, all of a sudden there's a horse on the road that you weren't expecting, you suddenly have to brake. So just be really careful. Obviously, wear your seatbelts. Don't drive too fast. The speed limits are there for a reason, that could be a side message for somebody there. Let's read this card and see what it has to say. I've never pulled this card before. This is a brand new card for me. 2 and 4 there breaks down to a 6, which would be 6 talks about equal, fair and share, balancing situations. So interested to see the story on this card. I'm looking up number 6 because I'm daft as a brush. 2 and 4, 24. Okay, we've got quite a long story here, so I'm just going to adjust and get comfortable for this one. I can't say I'm super comfortable in this muggy weather. Okay. To be truly free, we must learn true independence. Trust yourself, as listening to people who may have other agendas is not the way to make good, clear decisions. Individuation from our parents is a natural process. See, family stuff, I told you. Although it's often fraught with difficulty on both sides. Your true power resides in your ability to always know you have a choice and it is yours to make. So, bad blood, someone's making a bid for freedom, family perhaps are disagreeing with it. If you listen to, we often, even when we disagree with our families, we often have quite a lot of respect for the tradition. Respect because we love these people, even if we do have a bit of bad blood between us. Blood is thicker than water and all that kind of stuff. So we do take their advice on board. We do listen to what they have to say. But sometimes I think especially if we're the sort of person who wants to please our parents, we may take their advice and all humans are fallible. So while you're a child and you're growing up and you think your parents know everything, you think your parents like are this vast source of information and they're correct. As your bubble expands and you start to when you do go off to university, I don't know why I keep getting this, perhaps that's one of you, and you start to get the opinions of others, you start to see things from new perspectives, your bubble grows, you get more information that's beyond the information given to you by, your upbringing. Sorry, I don't know why education's going through strongly. I don't know if someone's like a teacher or in education at the moment. They're giving me, I think it's Piaget, is it Piaget? Piaget. He's a kind of psychologist to do with children's psychology and the way that children learn. And he's very much about there's what we're taught by our parents, there's the information that we're given, but then we need the opportunity and the freedom, right, to go out and make our own choices, to learn our own lessons. This is how we grow. So it's like you get the information and then you put the information in action. So there's an importance to having, excuse me a second. Sorry, just while those people were walking past. So there's something to do with what happens when you get a piece of information and then you get a conflicting piece of information. The learning process, the process of gaining intelligence and how the mind develops is the ability to not just hold one view, but to be able to hold multifaceted views, to be able to understand that sometimes there are contradictions and that's okay. So there's something to do with understanding that perhaps family, parents, they may love you, they may be trying to give you very good advice, but that is the best advice that they can possibly give you, but it's only from their own perspective and their own life experience. So you are an individual, you are not a carbon copy of your parents. And it's if there was never innovation, we'd stay the same, we'd stagnate. So there is something coming through here with the need to take on board that the knowledge that's been given to us so far, but to be able to move forward with it and to have new experiences and to be able to innovate along with society and the planet moving forwards as well. So there's something going on there. I am actually, just so you can pause this and read that yourself, because there's definitely, it feels like that's a very, very strong message coming through for somebody there. And then I'm going to go into this mythos, which mythos, just, I don't know why, again, I don't know why I need to say this to you right now, but it's coming through, so here we go. The word mythos, we use the word myth to mean something that's not true in our modern day language. The word mythos comes from ancient Greece, and it wasn't used to say that something was true or untrue. It was a word for story. So it's there's something to do with stories and truth and untruths, and understanding that perhaps one person's story is another person's myth. We have different perspectives on things. There could be something going through with that. So let me move this a little bit closer so you can see. There once was a young king who lived in a castle upon a great hill, who had just been newly crowned. So he began looking for a queen. He was out riding one day and saw a woman who was riding her huge white stallion as well, if not better, than he rode. Her horse flew across the fields and the woman's hair streamed long and wild behind her. Maybe there's someone with particularly long hair. I mean, that's quite a few of us, right, with lockdown. Hairdressers being closed. The king kicked on his horse and after some time caught up with her. Her face was flushed and her smile bright and her words joyful. Their eyes met and they fell deeply in love. They're giving me Ever After, the film with Drew Barrymore. After a time, the young king realised Rhiannon, excuse me, sorry, again, neighbours shouting. Their eyes met and they fell deeply in love. After a time, the young king realised Rhiannon, for that was her name, could be Maria, I don't know, who was loving, loyal, gentle and wise and fair, was all he wanted in a queen. He asked her to marry him and she accepted with grace. Rhiannon's responsibility as queen would now be taken over from the queen regent. And while it would be natural for the mother of the king to be pleased for her son, secretly she was vastly jealous of her usurper and resented her loss of personal power. Again, we've got this parenting thing coming through, right? Soon, a beautiful blue-eyed son with a star-like birthmark on his leg was born. Excuse me. That was just the postman. Oh, anything that happens in a reading is part of the reading. It's just noisy. Soon, a beautiful blue-eyed son with a star-like birthmark on his leg was born. To protect him, Rhiannon kept her baby with her as she slept in her chambers. One morning when Rhiannon awoke, her baby was gone from her, and in his stead was a great deal of blood. She screamed in horror. Again, I've never read this before, so I'm sorry, that's a bit upsetting. The Queen Regent yelled, "Look, she has killed her baby. I knew she wasn't to be trusted." Rhiannon insisted the baby had been taken, but the Queen Regent was not to be convinced. The king asked Rhiannon where the baby was, but she confessed she didn't know. Rhiannon's son had been kidnapped by the Queen Regent in the night. She had killed a chicken and used its blood to make the scene against Rhiannon. The Queen Regent had decided to raise the son as her own, but he was safe but hidden. Rhiannon was put on trial and she made no defence, and so was found guilty of her son's murder. The king, still so in love with her, could not kill her, but instead sentenced her to a job that would bring huge shame to her every day. As the castle was up on a high hill, visitors were given a horse to travel to the top. Rhiannon's new job was to take the place of one of the hard-working horses and carry people to the top of the castle on her back. Every day she struggled with her guilt, never raising her head. She slept in the stables with the horses curling up and crying. Rhiannon gradually became aware of the importance of the work that the horses did beside her. People couldn't get to the castle without them, and they bore the work with strength and focus. I mean, they could get to the castle without them, because she could, right? She was carrying people up there, so clearly people could get there without the horses, but I guess they had stuff to take with them as well, right? She also realised the horses were set free at night, and they ran, played, loved, and foraged, mindful of that moment. She decided that she too would follow their example, bearing the guests with strength and focus and enjoying her freedom at the end of the day, instead of hiding in shame. On one of these evening walks, she saw the Queen Regent playing with a little boy in the lower courtyard on a farm. He was on a small pony. She thought the king must have remarried quickly. The small boy lost his balance and fell. The Queen Regent checked him over for cuts, and as she did so, the little boy's trouser leg was lifted, and there on his leg was the birthmark in the shape of the star. Rhiannon realised this was her own son, and she had been tricked. She called the local people together to witness the boy and confirm the mark on his leg. Happily, the king had not stopped loving Rhiannon, and reinstated her as queen, banishing his mother into exile. Rhiannon never forgot the lessons of the horses who had worked beside her, and from then on no horse was a beast of burden in their kingdom, but instead a symbol of power and freedom. Mythos about horses or featuring horse deities encircle the world, wherever horses were found or heard of. Deities linked to horses include Epona, Etain, Apollo, Poseidon, Reshsef, Suna, Odin, Neptune, and Equesta. The magic. Horse magic is profoundly free and powerful. To ride a horse at full gallop is to experience the sacred bolts of the most primal liberty. When you are feeling trapped or small, expand your field by calling for their energy. There is also a long history in physical and mental healing with horse energy, and this can be used when you are ill or unstable. Horse energy evokes a calm and solid presence and can be used to quiet your spirit if you're feeling disturbed. Alright, that's nice. Oh, it keeps going. Horse magic is also an expression of trust. A powerful horse could go anywhere it wants, yet it is willing to be led. A person trusts the horse to be sure-footed, leap and run away from danger, while a horse trusts the human to be its partner, not to hinder, to take care of it, to guide it. It can be a deep bond if you allow it to be. If you are ever doubting yourself or feeling trapped, engage some horsepower. Expand your field by calling for their energy. Horsepower again. There could be something again with cars. So maybe just being able to go out and have freedom in your car, right, is enough. You know, going for a long drive, getting out of the house, you know, getting out away. You know, some people are like that, right? It's like, oh, the family are kicking off again. I'm just going to go and take the car out. I'm going to go and drive around and just listen to some music, get some peace of mind, and I'm going to come back and everybody's going to have settled down. So it could be that sort of thing going on for you there. There's something with the names. Sorry, I'm just looking at horse and hare. Horse and hare, maybe it's a pub name. The Horse and Hare. Horse hair, maybe there's something to do with like horse hair. You know, if something's quite rough. Is it like a fabric, a horse hair fabric? Okay, just showing me loads of stuff there. The Hermit and the Devil there, that's Virgo and Capricorn energy. Death there is Scorpio on the bottom. Right, I would like to ask, please, who is Gemini in this reading today? Who is Gemini in this reading today? One card, please, for Gemini. Who is Gemini in this reading today? Who's the protagonist of this reading, please? Oh, thought about it, went back in. There we go. The High Priestess. Okay, so you're showing up in Scorpionic energy. I don't know if you've got Scorpio in your chart. You don't have to be. Anyone can be in High Priestess energy at any time. It comes and goes, right? So the High Priestess, you could be being very, very intuitive at the moment. You could be keeping secrets. You could be keeping things to yourself. You could be in a very nurturing mood at the moment. I'm noticing today, again, I get different things on different days from the cards. This is Winona Ryder in Beetlejuice. I've said it twice now because she came out for Aries as well, I think, or Taurus. I can't remember who she came out for. Yeah, I'm seeing a link. I'm seeing a link with Aries' reading, so I don't know if you've got Aries in your chart or you're dealing with an Aries. But they had someone, as I was saying with that shot through the heart and you're to blame, this is the card that gave it to me. She's holding a pomegranate over her chest, over her heart space. So she's also wearing a red wedding dress. So I don't know whether a red wedding dress is particularly significant to you at the moment. You know, she was getting married to somebody she didn't want to get married to in that scene. Like a forced marriage, perhaps, for somebody. We are on number 2, though. 2s are about pairings. Shot through the heart and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. There could be something to do with being expected to get married to somebody, and either there's something to do with family expectations and marriage possibly coming through. I'm noticing again with this the white here of this dress, like this is very peaceful, this is very soft and gentle. And now Winona Ryder was a very good character in that film. I'm just noticing the change, right? The change. So it's like the innocence of the bride, and then okay, I'm getting 3 things, so I'm going to have to talk you through what I'm getting because I'm not keeping up with my own internal messaging system. So for some of you, there's something to do with expectations of parents and and marriage. So it could be parents expect you to marry somebody you don't want to. It could be parents expect you. It could be you want to marry somebody that doesn't meet your parents' expectations. Okay, so it could be 2 different ways. Why is it so noisy today? The third message I was getting through with the white dress and the red dress is something to do with the very, very traditional thinking that women should be virgins on their wedding day. Virgin actually means somebody who is one meaning of the word virgin, rather than somebody who has or hasn't had sexual intercourse. I think the traditional meaning is somebody who has not been married before. So if you've not been married, you're technically a virgin according to someone somewhere at some point in history. So I don't know if there's something coming through with that as well. I'm also noticing the sparkles on the skirt of a dress. I don't know whether there's somebody's wearing perhaps a sparkly skirt right now. Somebody has a wedding dress with sparkles on. So here she's holding these little flowers. It looks like snowdrops. And here she's holding a pomegranate. Now, the story of the pomegranate is, I suppose it can be connected to temptation, but it's here on the High Priestess card to symbolize intuition and the connection with the spirit realm, because the pomegranate comes from the story of when Hades seized Persephone and took her to the underworld to be his wife, and she couldn't eat anything when she was down there, because if she ate something, she would have to stay in the underworld. But one day she was very, very tempted by the seeds of a pomegranate, and she ate, I believe she either ate 3 or 6. I think it's different depending on the myth. So that's why she has to, I think Zeus came in as kind of the judicator and said, look, she's going to spend this much time with the mother and this much time in the underworld, based on the number of pomegranate seeds that she ate. And this is what creates the seasons, because her mother was the goddess Demeter, who was to do with, she's associated with crops. So when Persephone went to the underworld, and Demeter was in mourning, we have autumn and winter. And then when Persephone comes back to join her mother celebrates, and we have spring and summer. So again, strong, very strong mother energy coming through here, something to do with the mother. And also this thing about, there's something about spending time in different places coming through. Could be something to do with lockdown. Maybe you were with somebody who you were engaged to perhaps, and lockdown, you went to see your mother and lockdown happened and you couldn't get back to your partner, or vice versa, right? You went to see your partner, lockdown happened, you couldn't get back to see your mother. There could be something like that going on for you. What's this one? Rhinoceros. Moderation. There could be something for somebody. Right, so you're showing as the High Priestess, very intuitive, perhaps a little bit secretive, perhaps a little bit guarded. The High Priestess knows things, but she doesn't always explain how or why or what she knows. Strong intuition, good, a very good relationship with the afterlife. You may feel like you've got ancestors around you. You may not fear endings or death. You may feel like it's part of, because we've got cycles here, you may have a very strong, a very mature, well-developed belief system or thought process around the principle of death. You may see it as part of life. We're born, we live, we die, we're born again, perhaps, if some of you believe in reincarnation. The way that, if you think about how leaves fall from the trees, they turn into soil so that the trees can continue to grow. So life and death, beginnings and endings, it could be literal or it could be metaphorical, phases of your life that are ending. Okay. Who is around Gemini, please? Who is around Gemini? I would say, though, if you are thinking about these things a little bit obsessively, if you're getting a bit macabre with it, you may just want to reach out and just look at your options in terms of like people you can speak to, or if it's bordering on depression, you definitely want to go in and look at options to get help with that. Speak to a doctor, speak to a counsellor, speak to advice lines, Google it, speak to family and friends. Don't kind of get quite dark on your own. But if it feels healthy, I have to say it does feel healthy. It feels like it feels like when we I'm just thinking about my own approach to teaching my children about such things. I don't hide it from them. I'm not the sort of parent to say, oh, the dog has gone to the farm. I'm much more the sort of parent who will be like, look, this thing's happening. It's very, very sad. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to cry. Whatever you're feeling, that's fine. It's all natural, to feel whatever you're feeling in these moments. I'm thinking about when we had to put our kitten down, which was heartbreaking for all of us. And then it's like processing. It's like, so what we do when a pet passes away is we get a notebook and we tell each other stories and we write down the stories about the pet. I remember when this when the cat got in the washing machine, you know, not we didn't turn it on, it was just, I was pulling laundry out, it was the tumble dryer, I was pulling laundry out of the tumble dryer, and all of a sudden the cat came out with it. So you gone into sleep in the warm laundry. You know, the time my cat I had half a pasta bake on the side in the kitchen, and I went in to find the cat eating the pasta bake, and I was like, did not know that was your sort of thing. So these funny moments and these nice memories that we share of you know, people or things that we love. And you know, we get stones and we paint stones and we put them out in the garden. And so I'm teaching my children not to hide from it, not to fear endings, but to understand that it's something that happens, and it's hard, but we can focus on the happy memories, and we can focus on the positive steps we can take when we're in these situations. And that may be something that somebody needs to hear right now. If it's not, just, it's okay, just leave it for whoever it is. So around you, the people around you, King of Swords and the Page of Wands. My point, what I was trying to make there, was that it's a maturity. I don't think it's an obsession. I don't think it's you know, dark thoughts or anything like that. I think it's just a maturity in terms of acceptance of the cycles of life, is the way it's coming through for you, gems. So King of Swords and Page of Wands. So you've got these two people around. Doesn't have to be guys. You don't have to be a girl. But the King of Swords is somebody who is like, they could work in communications, in technology, law. There's somebody who's they're probably quite good with words and language. They're probably very intellectual, very analytical. They're quite mature. They've got a lot of experience in whatever it is that they do. This could be somebody who is has a lot of information, but like you, his sword's facing down, which means that he's not currently communicating. He doesn't just blurt everything out. He's strategic in what he says and when he says it. He's got his hands up. It always gives me kind of like showing your hands, you know, showing revealing things, showing you not hiding anything. In this particular image, it's Tom Cruise in, I want to say, is it Mission Impossible or Minority Report? One of the two. So excuse me again. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, it could be that somebody's saying, look, I've got nothing to hide, but they are playing cards close to the chest there. It could be somebody that works in technology in some sort of way there. So it could be somebody who uses like 3D reality. I don't know why I'm getting that through so much today, but like it could be somebody who works or enjoys computer games where they play in 3D, you know, with the VR. Okay. Excuse me. Page of Wands then. So this, I think, is Will Smith in Men in Black. What you think you saw, you did not see. There's something going on with information in your reading. Information and knowledge between these three cards. So the Men in Black come, don't they, to kind of to say they're trying to keep the peace. They're trying to keep information under wraps. They're trying to keep things on a need-to-know basis. So there's something to do with like memory here. What you think you saw, you did not see. So don't fear us. Okay, the Page of Wands is someone who's, again, it came out in Aries' reading, so I feel like this is the flip side of the coin from Aries' reading. This is somebody who is quite childlike, quite, they're still learning, and they're learning about things that make them feel passionate. They're learning about things that make them feel creative and enthusiastic. And it's like somebody who's figuring out, you know, they've got a lust for life, and they're trying to figure out what works for them and what doesn't. So they are quite immature. They're kind of like here today, gone tomorrow energy, because they're still figuring things out. Could be someone with quite a big ego. They may appear to be quite confident, but they are still learning because they're in that page energy. If you are connecting with an Aries, do go and check out their reading, just because these two cards came out for them. And I'm getting that shot through the heart business. So, yeah. Okay. Just looking at the bottom, Page of Coins there. That's somebody coming up with a bit of a plan. Right, let's go and find out more then about these cards. I'm sorry there's so many distractions today. But like I say, anything that happens in the reading is kind of part of the reading. So there's a reason to everything that's going on out there. Actually, when I paused, my neighbour said he's not getting away with it about somebody. So, and it was when I was talking about this person here, he's not getting away with it. I don't know, that could be relevant to you somehow. The High Priestess then. So this is Gemini. You're shown as the High Priestess. Doesn't have to be you. If you identify more strongly with someone else, you know, you can take that. But what can you tell me about the High Priestess today in Gemini's reading, please? Okay, very secretive energy. Look at this. Very, very secretive. And we've got that page again there. Look, Page of Pentacles. This is the same page. It's a very Piscean, very Page of Cups type Page of Pentacles in this deck for me. This is somebody coming up with some sort of plan. They're a student. They're learning. They're gathering information. They're kind of getting things in order. This could be like, I want to go on holiday, so I'm going to make sure I've got my tickets. I've got my vaccinations. I've got my passport. It's like very... Pentacles are very practical, right? So it's like at the drawing board, coming up with a plan, doing the research, gathering information, but taking very tangible steps towards something very new. Sometimes the pages can come in with some sort of offer. So you could be thinking about offering something to somebody, or somebody could be coming in with an offer to you, and it makes you feel like a kid again. It's like, you know, the rainbows here signify healing and hope and happiness. So this is a very positive card. And it's coming in with this very new energy. So very secretive about this though. But it does require, whatever this kind of new project is, new plan, new commitment, it does require you to walk away from something or someone. So the Eight of Cups talks about feeling like there's something emotionally lacking in your life. There's something missing. And so she's walking away from this person and she's going off exploring her own emotional waters. She's got a sense of discovery. I need to go and figure out what this missing piece is. So you are coming up with, you're being very, very secretive, very much playing your cards close to your chest, but you are thinking of going out, exploring the world, emotionally distancing yourself from something that isn't working for you, and you're kind of coming up with some sort of plan of how to do it, and you're quite excited about it, I would say, with that page energy. Okay, we're going to ask about this King of Swords next. What can you tell me please about this King of Swords? What can you tell me about this King of Swords? Could be an Aquarius, doesn't have to be. It could be an air sign, doesn't have to be. Okay. So the energy associated with this King of Swords, this may be somebody that you share some kind of foundation with, a home, a workplace. It could be somebody that you've met at an event, celebrated some sort of milestone with there with this Four of Swords. Somebody here is at some sort of crossroads. There's a decision point, some kind of internal conflict with this person. It's like a mental blockage there with that Two of Swords. So there's some kind of conflict here, internal conflict, I feel, where somebody has to trust their intuition to guide them. Then we've got the Ace of Wands. So this is the person doing what you're meant to do when you hit with the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is normally somebody who's blindfolded. They don't know what to do because they're kind of trapped by their own thoughts, and then they kind of need to use their intuition to get them through this kind of like stuck crossroad energy. And then the Ace of Wands is very, very intuitive. It is very much like trusting your gut, and it's something very new. So there's this new Wands energy. It could be some sort of like new creative idea, new passion project, a person who makes you feel very heated, but it's taking, I'm saying you, it could be this person, so as it fits, it's in relation to this person somehow. So this spark of inspiration, this impulsive energy comes in, this new impulsive energy, which gets this person out of this crossroads energy, this stuck energy, into the Three of Wands. Now the Three of Wands is, I've made a decision, I know what I'm going to do, but I'm in waiting mode. So it can sometimes be waiting for some kind of resource to come to you. It can be waiting for a return on your investments. It can be waiting for the right time to move forward, but a decision has been made here, and it's an instinctive decision. The Page of Cups means that somebody may be apologising to somebody, or there may be some kind of new love offer coming in. The pages, again, are like learning. You've got a lot of pages in your reading, so there is definitely this discovery energy, which, again, kind of was in Aries' reading. So pages are... they're moving forward, they're normally moving towards somebody else, and there's emotion involved. So it can be expressing emotions, apologising, there's a sense of discovery and potential that comes with the Page of Cups. I was kind of saying that page that came out for you kind of reminds me of the Page of Cups energy. It's Piscean energy. It's very imaginative. It's like imagining a better future for yourself, imagining the potential of where your life can go, right? So it always, as well, it's like the meaning of the fish in the cup is like believing the impossible. It's not just a dream. You know, your dreams can really become your reality. Who'd have thought a fish could be in the cup? But it also gives me big fish in a small pond energy. So it's like the need to move on, which I was kind of getting with that Eight of Cups. So I don't know if this is a person that you're deciding to move away from, or it's a person that's made you feel very heated and you're going to move to them. It could go either way. I'm getting... my inkling, and it doesn't have to be this way, is that this is a person that you do share some kind of foundation with. You are at a crossroads of like, do I stay or do I go? And I think you're moving away from this person with an apology, because it's followed by the Death card here. Now the Death is like a complete ending, no going back. What's done is done. So take that as it resonates for you. It doesn't have to be a literal death. It's more like a complete end to a situation. It's done, right? It's over, it's done. There is this sense of rescue with it as well, though, on the particular image of this card. Again, with that kind of bad blood of the two energies, two different people on different sides. The imagery on this card's quite nice, because everybody in the image is trying to help. The bad guy is kind of like this corporation that's caused this oil spill in the background, but these people who are on different sides are both trying to rescue the animals from the oil spill. So there could be some kind of meaning for you in that. You know, perhaps there is bad blood between you both, but when the time comes, everybody comes to help in that moment. There could be some kind of meaning there for somebody. So a bit of tricky energy there with that King of Swords. I hope it makes sense to you. And then we have this Page of Wands. So, hello, Page of Wands. What are you up to? This Aries energy. Page of Wands. What's going on with you, please? Anything else? Chatty. Knight of Swords. It ends with the Knight of Swords. So, I just want to make sure these are going the right way. Oh, got 5 cards. Which way, please? Which way, please? Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah, definitely tying in a little bit with that Aries reading. Because what was happening in that reading, the Page of Wands was ready to kind of move on from something, to close out a cycle, to go off on a new adventure of discovery. Basically, this person was showing up in Emperor energy, which is somebody who has a huge amount of responsibilities, this Ten of Wands. Again, this could be a woman or man. It doesn't have to be a love interest. It could be anyone around you, but it's somebody who's affecting you at this time. They're affecting your energy. So somebody who's very, very burdened. They were showing up in Emperor energy, which tells me that they had a lot of responsibilities for a lot of other people. There was some sort of leader, but they were stagnating where they were. They were frustrated. There was no expansion where they were. So what they were trying to do was they were feeling very passionate, very excited about something new. They kind of had the mojo back in that reading. They were like ready to go off. And to with it being a page, it's like this person still has learning to do. It's like, yes, I'm the Emperor, but there's always room for more expansion, more growth, more learning. So they were going off to do this, but they had this need to be aware of the responsibilities they were leaving behind, because they were an Emperor, right? They were an Emperor going back into Page of Wands energy. So it's similar. I really strongly feel like this is the same energy as what was coming through for Aries, because you've got this Ten of Wands. Now the Ten of Wands is heavy burdens, a huge amount of responsibilities. If you think about the story that we had on this horse card of Rhiannon having to carry people up the mountain, you know, she was carrying people up on her back up the mountain as though she was a pack horse. So this person's in that energy. They really feel a lot of weight, a lot of burdens, a lot of responsibility to get other people up that hill. I'm just thinking about that Capricorn reading that I had last week as well, and Aquarius, where it's like Capricorn was like leading everybody up the mountain, but again, it's metaphorical. So metaphorically, for all the readings at the moment, this mountain's coming through, which talks about ascension, becoming a better person, achieving new heights, going up in your career, and there in their reading there was this need to kind of like cut ties with certain people because they just kept dragging this energy back down the mountain. So I'm feeling like a similar thing. It's like really feeling very burdened, really trying to like achieve new levels, new heights of like whether that's your personal development or career, but there's all this, it comes in with all these ties of responsibility to other people. Now this person is not closing out the cycle, they're not putting the burdens down, they've got unfinished business that they have to take care of, loose ends that they have to tie up before they can put the burdens down. Now the really nice thing about the Ten of Wands is it kind of links in with the Nine of Wands energy. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. It's the person who has to keep picking themselves up and keep going. You know, this is the Nine of Wands energy is where you learn perseverance. The Ten of Wands comes in when you have learned how to persevere, when you have walked up that, you know, you've fallen on your knees and you've picked yourself up so many times. And the brilliant thing about the Ten of Wands is you are at the finish line. You are so close to the finish line. So normally the imagery of this card is that there's a house in the background. It's like you can see the house, you can see the goal, you can see the top of the mountain, you can see the finish line. It's there. You don't quite know how you're going to get there, but you're so close to being able to put that heavy weight down. So they haven't been able to put these responsibilities down yet. They haven't been able to cut ties or release themselves of some very heavy burdens and responsibilities in connection to other people. But I feel like they're working on it, and I feel like they're getting close. They are learning a lesson here about patience, because they're in the Page of Wands energy, right? They are emotionally ready to go. They are like, I know what I've got to do. I'm very passionate about going out and exploring and doing this new stuff, right? But it's with them also having this underlying Emperor energy. They're very aware of the responsibilities to other people. So while they've got this urge to go out and do the new, they are learning how to be patient, learning how to end things properly, to really make sure that their previous responsibilities are in good hands before they can really truly feel free to do the new. So the Temperance energy comes in, it's Sagittarian energy, very, very patient. The world is also Sagittarius, so we may have a Sagittarius energy going on here in connection to this person. As I say though, it did come out in Aries' reading this week. So the Temperance card, as well as meaning learning to be patient, learning to be very balanced within, emotionally balanced, and able to kind of like calm your own passionate nature, whether that's hot-headedness, passion, that very, very fiery, impulsive nature of Aries. Learning how to bring some very healing emotions into that and to temper that energy, to make it less flash in the pan and more lasting and temperate and meaningful. So really, go away, little fly. So yeah, this person's learning a very, very big lesson here, I feel, in patience, in responsibilities, in not being in and out. It's coming in with Justice in reverse and the Queen of the Knight of Swords. I was going to say Libran energy, but the Knight I would see more as your energy, this Gemini energy. Justice is Libran energy. So we've got this air sign energy closing out this section for this person. Now, it could be that this person is dealing with legalities, legal issues. You know, maybe it's something to do like, I don't know, contracts or mortgages, or even like marriage contracts, right? Law, things that this person is very, very tied to in terms of law and contracts, and the justice system, things that this person signed, right? So I feel like there's some sort of legality involved with this person. They are trying to close out some cycle. It's really wearing heavy on them, but they've learned that lesson in perseverance and patience. They know that they're going to get there eventually, right? They're just in waiting mode. So there is something that they're stuck in. There is something that seems very unfair for this person. There is something unbalanced in this person's life. I'm really seeing it as like they can't get out of some kind of contract. They've got to fulfill the contract before they can move forward, even if that's like a karmic contract, a soul contract. They've got something that needs to be finished off before they can go and burst out into the world in this Page of Wands energy. This Knight of Swords says that there is information coming. The sword is raised. The knights are the messengers of the zodiac, the people who take action. So there is action being taken. There is communication. There is information here being brought forwards. I feel like this person is trying to cut themselves out of some kind of contract or legality, something that they've got a lot of ties to, in terms of like they are responsible for something here. So interesting little story coming through there with that person. All right, let's get you an advice card to close out this reading. Oh, a couple more cards wanted to just show themselves as I was tidying those up. So Page of Swords, again, information. There's more information coming. There's information gathering going on here. And then the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is somebody who's very mature. I feel like if this person has been very impulsive in the past, that Temperance energy is encouraging them to be a mature person. The Page is impulsive. They do what feels good. The King of Wands is somebody who is they've learned a lot of lessons. They've kissed a lot of frogs, kind of thing, and now they've got they're more mature. They've got full control over the passions. Again, with that watery background, there's something to do with like emotions and passions, being able to balance them out, right? So yeah, cool. Little side message coming through there. I hope that means something to you, Gemini. If this is your reading, take what resonates. If it's not your reading, just leave it. It might just be someone else's reading today who really needed to hear it, right? So please, can you give me some advice for Gemini or anyone resonating with this reading at this point? What do we need to know? At this point in the reading, what's the best advice, please, for those resonating with the reading? Oh my God, again, this came out for Aries. Stag Spirit, take the lead. Otter Spirit, you are never alone. I love the otters. The otters always talk to me about partnerships, finding your soulmate, finding whether it's a best friend or a love interest or a family member. This is your person, right? This is your person. But the message of this is like Spirit is also always with you. Even if you feel alone, you are still connected to the universe, to that one energy, right? But yeah, otters mate for life. So I love it when the otters show in a reading. Where are we? So I can't believe the connection here with that Aries reading. 58. Stag Spirit, take the lead. Whether or not you have set your intention to lead, you may have found yourself suddenly called upon to step up to the forefront of your life. Stag Spirit is a reminder that now is a time to heed the call to be sure, strong, and compassionate. Others will look to you, and you have it within you to see through the eyes of Stag Spirit and walk with confidence as you take on the responsibilities that are yours now, and model integrity in all that you do and in all your relationships. Be willing to see the best in others so that your compassionate heart keeps you on the right path. Stag Spirit wants you to know that your responsibilities now are to yourself too, for you are learning and developing new skills. That's why you've got so much Page energy in that reading. The best in you is coming into view as you step forward with strength, knowing that Spirit supports you as you compassionately take the lead. You are a model for transformation now, sharing your experience, strength and hope with others so that they may grow and discover their best selves too. What a gift you are. Stay humble and authentic and walk your talk, for this is how a wise leader leads. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. My daughter's going to a friend's house and she's I've got a big pile of washing that I've washed and folded for her in my room. It's just still in the washing basket, and I've been asking her for about a week to put it away, but she hasn't done it. So she's coming and going, "Have you got my shorts?" Yes, because you haven't put them away yet. All right, I hope this reading was helpful to you today, and I hope you've got something from it, whether it is your reading or not. I hope you've got some kind of takeaway from it that is that's going to do you a little bit of good. You know, that's why I'm doing it. I want to kind of help people out and give you food for thought, and you know, something to kind of self-reflect on. And I don't have all the answers, right, but it's like, I love the books that we read from, and you know, I'm still learning and developing as well, so we can all do that together on this journey, right? So I hope you've enjoyed. Do take care. You know, and I'm going to do my business. Leave a like if you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave me a comment if anything particularly resonated with you. I really appreciate all of you that do engage with me in that way. However, if you're coming in as a stealth watcher and you kind of don't want people to know you're watching tarot card readings, you kind of want to fly in under the radar, I can totally respect that as well. And I appreciate you getting to this point in the video. You know, those watch hours really help me out as well. So, yeah, guys, thanks. We're in this together. We're all in it together. Do take care, and I'll see you again soon. But before I go, do check out that description box down below where all the songs that came through in your reading are going to be listed if I remember to put them all down. The last two songs, I'm going to pull you two more songs as soon as I finish this reading. The first one is going to be what you really need to hear right now, and the last song on that list is going to be whatever the universe gives you as advice today. So again, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. It might just be one line in one of those songs that pops out to you and gives you a stroke of inspiration. If not, just leave it for somebody else. Guys, have a brilliant week. And is it your birthday month? I feel like it's your birthday month. Happy birthday, Geminis. I hope you have a great day and a great year ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.